Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Causey, and I am running the Woodlands, powered by the Apocalypse game, and we will be playing a mouse guard scenario today called The Rescue. And I am going to give everyone the YouTube link to that. And boom, everyone has a fancy picture but me. Now, let's introduce our characters once again. We have Oberon. Could you tell the audience about your character?
Yes, Oberon is an older mouse. He's the captain, the leader, is the class I'm playing. And he's kind of a little past his prime. He's got mottled brown, gray, more gray fur, stocky body, piercing black eyes, and a daring demeanor. He's ready to fight for mouse kind, wherever it may be. Um, So let's see. His move stalwart. So when you stand your ground in defense of others, roll wisdom. You also have the move voice of reason. So when I advise caution to someone I fear is about to act foolishly, I can roll with wisdom. I am basically we're gonna see how well this works, but Oberon sees himself as sort of the moral compass of the group, and physically upholds that with his shield of glory. Think of Captain America, but with a wooden round shield instead, and a blade around the edge so he can cut things with it. Um, yeah, he's very protective of those in his charge and willing to go above and beyond the call of duty.
Awesome. Win, tell us about you.
So Win is a Redford sage mouse, who is a little younger than a lot of sage mouses with the Wardens, and is pretty playful, especially likes wordplay and and jokes, um, and otherwise is pretty accomplished at being a healer, and is kind of a pack rat. He tends to have what you need when you need it, but has to dig around in his pack to find it.
Cool. Alrighty. And Fran, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Fran is a really inexperienced center paw. She's really young and she has black fur and the bulky body. She's kind of naive and always trying to please and be friendly to everybody. And she has a pair of daggers that her mother made with her. And she always carries around and has a protege move, so can take 1+1 ongoing when following um, instructions by her mentor. And she has a small and quiet move. When she does something in secret, hopefully nobody notices what she's doing.
Excellent. Okay, so you have all been guiding a shipment of healing moss to a plague-struck town, which, if you look at the map that I provided for you in the here, let me see if I can switch over to, how do you do that? Present to everyone. Okay. Can everyone see the map? So in the western portion of the territories, there is Elmos here, and you are heading to Barkstone here. So let me start over again with that. So you've all been guiding a shipment of healing moss from Elmos to the plague-struck town of I've already forgotten it, of Barkstone. And when one of your own went missing while scouting, Now your captain has split the squad into two, one group leading the moss, and your group will make the best effort to track down Doc and make your way to town. So let me stop presenting. It is late fall. It is dark due to the foliage and the clouds, but it's technically the morning. You've just got done pushing your cart out of the mud from the rain. Rain's been going on for a couple of days now. And the Bastion Commander Chase, who has been leading this mission, turns to you, Oberon, and says, "We have to move on. You take who you need and go and find Doc. We don't leave a mouse behind, but we have to take care of Barkstone. Do you understand your mission?"
Yes, we're going to retrieve Doc
Excellent.
and then join you as needed.
Okay. Who will you be taking with you?
I will be taking Win.
Me.
Hang on. Win has been a very wise sage and has proven himself very capable. And I believe that Win is training Tenderfoot, Tenderpaw, named Frown, I think it is. We'll take Frown as well.
Okay. Well,
This will be a good experience for her.
I trust your judgment. Whatever you find out there, meet us back at Barkstone within 2 days to help with the plague, and I will see you soon and healthy. And he goes to grip your paw in a formal handshake. Okay, great. They push onward, and the three of you stand in front of a sea of tall grass, which is swaying with the wind, and then a crack of lightning and thunder peal out. What do you all? Is it? Are you? How are you all feeling right now? Let's go with that. Fran, what are you feeling right now?
Well, I am a bit scared. I haven't been outside the settlements in this bad weather, and it's fall, late fall. It's gonna be winter soon, and it's gonna be cold and wet, and I'm a little scared. But I guess it's gonna work out somehow. Everybody else is really experienced, I guess.
When you notice that your recruit seems to be shaking more than the weather would require.
Cold. Just the cold.
I pat Fran on the shoulder and just like, it's just the cold. Don't worry about it. You'll get used to it. And I think I'm trying to be reassuring, but the good food went ahead with the wagons. And what we have are trail rations. It's very important.
Can I ask
the mouse behind? But
yeah. Does Win know how to scavenge for food supplies in the wild?
He does not have any unique skill with that, but he's pretty crafty. So
okay. Well, my assumption is in this mouse guard world that we have like basic training.
Right.
Yeah. So
he knows how to find. Right.
Yeah.
So he's as good as anybody else who's as wise as he is. But It has to be cooked by him if he's going to scavenge it. And that's
so Auburn's gonna walk over, look at the two, do a curt nod, and has that winning smile and says, "This is exciting. Can't you feel that crisp air? This is just what we need to get started on our mission."
Is that what's in my boots?
Yes.
The crisp air. All right.
Let's grab our gear and go. All right, who's gonna lead? Who's gonna take point on tracking our target here, Doc?
So it sounds like you're engaging the set out into the wilds move. And when you do that, you will decide on 3 positions. There's the Trailblazer, the Navigator, and the Lookout. So, and each of you will roll. So, what we're deciding right now is who's the Trailblazer. They'll be rolling with Courage. Who's the Navigator? They'll be rolling with Wisdom. And who's the Lookout? They'll be rolling with Nature.
Oh,
I definitely want to see Fran do the trailblazing.
Well, she has to, since
I mean,
she's got a +2 on courage. It's just something she didn't expect to be put into this position, but
you're going to get your Trailblazer merit badge after this.
I guess. Okay.
So who will be the Navigator?
I can navigate.
Okay.
I'll be a lookout.
Okay. So I given you guys a link to the roll for your party room.
Okay.
And let's start with their crew.
Oh, wait a minute. I just had another row for your party open. I need to. That's the wrong one. It's moderately gently cracking. Okay. Then I rolled 7 + 2, 8.
7 + 2 is 9.
Oh, okay. Exactly.
Either way. Okay. Okay. And the rule for that says that you have a hard time keeping up. I'll tell you how this affects your journey. So there's that. Let's move on to the Navigator. Rolling with Wisdom.
That is a 9.
Okay. And the Lookout. Rolling with
All
Nature.
right. Let's do this. I got an 8.
Okay. We're all in the middle.
Yay.
Actually, Fran, you had a 9. Does anyone want? So we have a thing called a Warden Pool, which is a selection of points you can use to help each other out. And in this case, it wouldn't be possible because you have to use the help out move to trigger it. But had you not been doing something, you could have rolled to help out and knock that up to a 10. Okay, so you are traveling through the sea of grass, and this is the last known route that Doc took when they were scouting ahead, and the rain makes it tough, but the mud actually makes it a little bit easier. You can see the paw prints. What is slowing you down, Fran, is that the grass is almost sharp enough to cut, and so you're having to go slowly, but you're still getting nicked every so often with those. And when you are just getting rain like in the face. It is so hard to see where you want to guide uh, 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 Fran to. Um, but uh, every so often, the every so often the lightning will strike and everything will go into relief. Like the colors will change and it'll come back. But you're uh, able to see some rocks about halfway through that would be a great point for you all to meet up. Um, and finally, God, this movie is so complicated. um, Oberon, as the lookout, um, you how do you look out? Are you climbing up a tree or what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, given the rain, I don't know if there's any vantage point that would help against that. But I think what he's doing in between the flashes of lightning, he's trying to find a good sight line area, and then as soon as the lightning goes, uh, just scan things. So he's counting off the seconds between the lightning to tell if it's coming closer or not, and just using that illumination to tell if there's anything threatening or if there's like a pit or something that we should avoid.
Right, right. Um, so, um, what you're seeing as a lookout is that there are spaces that could be a puddle or it could be a, a warren that's been flooded, and stepping into the warren hole would certainly lead to um, falling over and possibly having to swim out. Um, but it's really hard to communicate that quickly. Um, so, do you head forth? So you have a choice. You
Hmm.
can go safely and hope that no one trips into one of the pools, or you can go quickly but risk yourself maybe getting hurt along the way and guaranteeing that no one's going to trip into one of those pools.
Um, Oberon's going to move forward quickly to protect his charge from falling in, because he has an idea, because it's probably too loud in the weather and everything to yell instructions. So he wants to physically impose and stop them before they go into these traps. And then he also wants to suggest that we maybe use that spear as a sort of um, stick in front of us to test depth. But yeah,
Okay.
he's definitely going to rush forward to try to save his companions.
Okay. Um, let's see here. So it sounds like you're going to be doing something dangerous. So why don't you roll with
Sure.
focus?
Okay. I got a 4.
Okay. Um,
Gonna need a new captain.
I tripped and fell on my shield. Um, let's see. Um,
Hang on. Let me see here. Nope, I didn't take that move. Okay.
Okay. So you rush up and arrive before anybody falls into a pool. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and I will follow up in just a bit with some more information. But go ahead and tell them what you're going to say.
Oh, before I fall in the pool?
No, something's going to happen, but I'm going to.
Okay. Yeah, so Oberon says to, I think it was Win who had the spear,
Yeah.
says, probably this is kind of like yelling during this turn, like, you're gonna want to use your spear to measure the depth. There are pools, so we could fall in and drown. And he's sort of like gesturing like to the spear and to like what to do to win.
I can't do that and read the map. And I reach for the spear and put the map away.
And while this is happening, Oberon's like pointing to his head and closing his eyes, like, memorize the map. You are the map. Be the map.
Okay. So Oberon has arrived to tell you about how to avoid the pools, and you put your map away and you get your spear out and you're starting to push it down. And sure enough, like the second pool you come to is really deep, and your spear doesn't find bottom. And Fran starts going a different direction to get you through this sea of grass. And Oberon's kind of in the back of the group and notices at the very last moment that some baby snakes have started to slither up, having followed him through the sea of grass from his rushing forward. And you can immediately tell from their color that they are a venomous variety. So there are let's just say there's one baby snake, and it's about to jump on you, Oberon. What do you do?
So I know this is happening.
Yeah, like you notice at the last
Okay.
moment, and you can turn
Okay,
around
sure.
and do something.
So this is purely cinematic. The camera zooms in, you see my ear twitch, and then there's this close up of my eye turning back, narrowing, and then I quick spin, pull the shield off my back, and hold it like I crouch down and hold it so that the shield's right in front of me, so that if it does bite, it'll hopefully grab the shield first and cut its mouth around the edge.
Excellent. Okay. So it sounds like you are standing your ground. So why don't you roll with courage?
I'm
Unless you
going to
have
roll with wisdom because I'm
Yeah.
stalwart. We'll see. All right, let's clear that off. All right. I got an 8.
Okay. So choose one. You suffer the condition of your choice. You inflict harm back on your attacker. You see what you're defending to safety. Your efforts inspire or frighten others, or you add one to the warden pool.
I feel like the most obvious is to inflict harm back on my attacker.
Okay. Absolutely. So on a hit, you succeed. Mark a condition. So no matter what happens on either stand your ground or strike an enemy, you're always going to take a condition. Mice suffer. So
yeah.
Let's see here. I'll give you a choice. Would you prefer tired or angry?
I'm gonna say angry at this point.
That's what I thought too. Okay. So mark angry.
Okay. Done.
Okay. So, Fran and Wynn, you're starting to see little baby snakes emerge from the grass. A little more cautious than the other one that just got sliced apart from Oberon's shield. What do you do? What do you say? What do you do?
Hmm. I'm not sure if there's enough time to climb one of those leaves of grass.
You are near
But-
some rocks. You are near some rocks that you could climb up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna climb onto those rocks and try to surprise one of those baby snakes and jump onto it with both my daggers out and just try to stab it from above.
Okay.
Just
Can she use? Can Fran use her small and quiet for this, or is that non-combat based?
that's a good question.
I think that's going to be up to me instead of always being one way or the other. So let's take a look
Sure.
here. I wasn't trying to snap at you. I was just saying. You do something in secret. If you do something in secret to the snakes, then yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to surprise them.
Okay.
Backstab them.
As a matter of gameplay, if your mentor tells you to do any of this, you're better at it. When
Well, Fran looks over to Win and gestures. She's got these daggers and making the thumb up and down.
And I'm like,
Asking.
yeah, I start stamping and raising my spear and going like, come at me, you idiots, so my friend can surprise you and jump down on your heads.
Good thing those snakes don't speak Mouseish.
Right.
yes, snakes do not. Other animals do.
But you know, they still fall for that one. Despite understanding everything I'm saying.
You're just that good. Okay. Let me check real quick to see if Wynn just triggered a move. Let's see here. I think that let's see here. I don't think you hold leverage over the snakes, so convincing them is not something that's going to happen.
Right.
But what I will say is, with your strike at an enemy, you will so there's going to be a condition that you have to suffer, and you can choose between the two of you who's going to take the condition, since it might actually happen to win. So I don't really have a be of the bait move, but that's what I'm going to work with. So let's start with you getting secretive. It looks like that is a roll with nature. So go ahead and roll nature.
Yes.
And does she get a bonus?
Yes, she gets a +1.
Cool.
Well, that's a 6 then.
Okay.
No.
It sounds like you're helping out her Win. Do you want to use the help out move?
Yeah. Why don't we use the help out move? But I'll roll with courage instead of stealing that 1 point we've got in the warden pool.
There are 2. I decided to give you 2 since you guys are.
Oh, gotcha. Then yeah, let's give that 1 point from the warden pool.
Okay, so you're going to use the point from the warden pool, which makes it a 10+, which gives you a +1 to your roll, which gives you a 7, Fran.
Good.
So no one sees you, but something unrelated goes wrong. Okay, I will I will let you know in just a moment. So, given that you have snuck, that you're being sneaky, when you roll the move to strike at an enemy, I'm going to. I'll give you an additional choice to make. So on a 7 and 9, you'll choose 2, and a 10 plus, you'll choose 3.
Okay.
So you'll be rolling with focus to strike out at them.
Well, I've got a 0 at all of them. So.
Makes it easy to roll, I guess.
Yes.
And you get a +1 from continuing to follow the orders from Win.
Then that's an 11.
An 11.
Nice.
Nice. Fantastic. So choose 3 from the list. Do you have the list in front of you, or do you want me to read it to you?
I've got the.
It's on page 2.
I should have it, but I'm all tabbing right now.
Okay.
Over the place.
So you inflict terrible harm, which I would say will clear out the snakes if you choose that. You choose the condition you have to suffer. You expose or create a weakness. You take something from your opposition, or you add 1 to the warden pool.
So I choose 2, right?
You'll choose 3 because you were sneaky.
Oh, right. I think I'm gonna inflict terrible harm, of course.
Okay.
I hoping to create a weakness for the other baby snakes.
Okay. Maybe they do you want help with that, or do you have an idea?
I guess the other snakes are gonna check on their sister or whatever and come to this place, and maybe we can attack them in a bundle. And I'm not quite sure what the warden pool does, but it sounds like a good idea to add 1 to it.
Yeah, so the warden pool is you can, if you're helping out someone, normally you have to roll to see if you can help them.
All right.
If you spend a point from the warden pool, it's as if you rolled the best roll, and you're guaranteed to assist someone.
Oh, nice.
So essentially, it's a 1-for-1. Spend a warden pool point, someone gets a +1 bonus to their roll. So that's how it works.
Okay, yeah, I'm choosing that, and I'm not choosing the condition I have to suffer.
Okay. So, you sneak around the rocks and scramble up to the top. And with 2 daggers, armed, jump out, and the snakes that were, just being held at bay with this spear work, which I'm assuming looks pretty cool. Like, are you like a wuxia style spear user, Win, or are you actually like when you said that anybody can learn how to use a spear? Are you just the most basic person at it, or?
I'm not really trying to hit the snake with a spear so much as trying to look scary and easy to eat.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sort of just waving it over my head.
Okay. Yeah. So
and trying not to accidentally grab the pointy end with my hand.
So you spin the spear around, and the snakes are all falling for your idea and then lightning strikes, and no one can see anything for a second, and then these daggers just start stabbing and stabbing.
I think I know what color Fran's gonna have for her cloak.
Red.
And you know that there are more snakes coming, but you all gather together for an ambush that has been set up by Fran. Fran, I'm going to have to say that based off of this, you're going to take. Well, either you can take the condition, or Win can take the condition. But I think it's going to be. Let's see. I'm going to say Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to take the condition because I need to be injured in the line of duty.
Okay. Oh, you want to be injured in the line of duty?
What? Nah, if I can avoid it, but I mean, it's one of my directives.
Okay. Well, let's start with tired. You
really don't want to take a snake bite.
Yeah.
No, baby snakes are maybe not as bad. Yeah.
Right.
We are very tiny.
And the ambush takes out the snakes as they come to investigate. You are all standing around the rocks near a pool, a Warren pool that could easily drown one of you had you not been led correctly by your leader Oberon. But you're all but for the moment it's just the sound of rain.
Question.
Yes.
Do mice in this world eat snake meat?
They can.
All right, I'm gonna grab some up. Since Win was complaining about not having enough food, I want to make sure we have enough food.
Okay.
Store it in a pack, and then I'm gonna basically tell Win good job, and go over to Fran, and like this might be like formally the first time I've said it, but I'm like reach my paw out in like the guard way, and say well done.
And she has a big wide grin on her face and really proud and thanks. I'm doing my best.
When do you say or do anything?
Yeah, I think he gathers his breath, very, very happy that none of the snakes got to him, and goes to pat Fran on the shoulder and just like, good job.
Looks like I'm getting the hang of it.
All right, Fran, we now need to find some dry area to weather through the rest of the storm.
Oh, I guess I need to do some more trailblazing.
I'll let the roll stand, but if you would all like to, if you want to find a shelter, then someone with nature needs to roll to brave the elements. But you'll have made your way through the sea of grass.
Do we want to keep going, or do we want to sort of try to find a place to shelter?
Fran says, since it's raining, isn't it possible that the muddy paw prints might get washed away and we mightn't find where Tom went?
Doc, yeah.
Doc. Oh.
Since it's raining, it's possible we will stamp over the paw prints because there's rain in our eyes.
Huh.
Is it all right if I can, Commander, Captain?
Yes.
We want to keep moving forward, or do we want to sort of find some shelter, let things dry out a bit?
I think shelter is probably going to be the best course for our particular situation. I think when we have sunlight, we might more easily be able to see, hopefully after things have dried, the fresh tracks, as well as avoid any of these pools more easily.
All right. I'm going to kind of go forward a little bit into the grass and sort of look around for. We've got rocks nearby, so I'm wondering if we have enough rocks that will form sort of have formed a natural shelter over the years. And just roll with Brave the Elements?
Yeah, roll with nature.
All right. So that is a 10.
Oh, fantastic. You get to choose 2. You guide others to safety along with you. You make an unexpected discovery. You add 1 to the warden pool. or you don't have to mark a condition.
Let me guide others to safety with me, and let's avoid the condition for right now.
Okay. So, you find a collection of rocks that have naturally form kind of like a shelter, and you you make your way in there, and you're finally able to get dry for the first time in a couple of days. With you is a frog that is just sort of sitting there, and it looks at you, and then just looks back out into the, into the rain. But you go ahead.
Does this frog seem like a threat to us?
No, no.
Okay.
Not unless
Alright.
you decide to start poking it.
No.
But it may threaten you with boredom. It is not a very interesting frog.
Oh.
I don't know. Our sage may decide otherwise.
That's true. But you will spend the next couple of hours in this place while the rain comes to a stop. Do you want to start a fire, or what would you like to do?
I do want us to dry out. The fire, if we don't need the fire, it might draw attention to us. But if we do need to stay warm,
well, if we do start a fire, Doc might see it and be drawn to us.
If he's alive and well.
Well, until we know otherwise, he's alive. I'm going to say that very sternly.
Yes, of course.
But I would think doing some sort of recuperation might be good for some of us.
Yeah.
So if Fran wants to take some rest, I was thinking about, like talking with Wynn over, I guess, a fire. We can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
And I point out that the frog will not create its own body heat, so it's probably hoping that we'll start a fire.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay. So you build a fire, and you
I'm going to cook the snake meat.
Oh, okay. Great. If anybody were hungry, that would be really good, but I think eating would be good. So, Fran, if you want to take a nap, you can go to the recuperate rules on page 3. You don't have to. And I know you're angry, Oberon, so if you want to find a way to blow off some steam, you can roll with focus. And so let's. So what do you guys want to do? Fran, do you want to take a nap, or do you want to listen to the words of wisdom of Oberon?
I think I'm settled down and try to listen to the words of wisdom, but I slowly drift off, and it's all very interesting. I think I can learn something.
She's always falling asleep when I'm trying to talk to her.
He never notices me. What is wrong?
I wish this was playing like this is like a CW episode where people don't actually talk properly to each other.
I wish this was Golden Sky Story so I can hand out dreams left and right. That's beautiful. Okay, so let's start. Let's roll with wisdom. I think it is for being tired.
I rolled a 4. Oh,
okay.
No. Oh no.
Oh no. Okay.
I'm probably not really falling asleep and still trying to listen. And
so you get to sleep and you you can remove your tired condition, and something unrelated will go wrong.
Another thing.
It's always something for mice, believe me.
Always.
So how do you want to blow off steam, Oberon?
I think
I'm gonna
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say I can pull out of my pack. The mouse guard mice make honey wine or something like mead.
Oh
something
yeah.
meadish without teaching children about mead, right?
Right.
So I think I pull out a sizable bottle of mead, and I'll mark off my one of my hold for having what somebody needs, and a small cup, and I pour enough mead for me into the cup, and then hand you the bottle. Oberon.
Oberon's like taken aback, but he accepts it. He's like, "This is very good. We should ration this out."
Yes. Yeah, you should not have more than a third of the bottle in 1 hour.
So what he'll do is he'll actually, I don't know if this is a real technical or real cooking thing, but he'll use some of the meat to marinate the snake meat.
Honey
as
snake
it's cooking.
sounds delicious.
Honey snake. Yeah. So it's like honey chicken. And then he's gonna tell a tale, may or may not be exaggerated, about his first encounter with a snake as a tender paw years and years ago, and how he got bit in the thigh, his left thigh, and did take on some of the venom. And that's one of the, like, when it's raining and cold, he wakes up from his limp. That's from that injury from years and years ago. So he's really, really pleased that no one had to go through that ordeal.
Okay.
And he'll have all these action sequences that he can sort of pantomime about around the fiery light, about the good old days.
What kind of dreams do you have, Fran?
I'm sure to have snake dreams, and there's a giant snake coming for me, and I wake up briefly scared, and like you wake up when you move your feet and try to walk in your dream, and she wakes up and rubs her eyes and sees on the wall of the cave these huge figures, these shadow figures from your pantomime.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, where am I? And looks at this, and then at the frog, and where am I? Oh, good morning. I'm still really tired. And sits up and tries to stay awake, but may drift off again.
That's a great scene. Awesome. Wynn, do you want to add anything to it?
No, I think just while Oberon's talking, I just sort of like cut off bits of the snake meat.
Okay.
And kind of chew on them as I see other people are awake or moving around or not eating. I kind of hand it to them. And I put a little bit of the snake meat out for the frog, because I know they eat meat.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fran hasn't had meat yet, actually, and she sniffs it.
Well, here you go.
Do we? Can we even? I mean, I've only had grain. But I guess don't waste anything. And she nibbles on it. It tastes like honey.
Not all snakes taste like honey.
Oberon says in sort of a low whisper, like, but the defeated ones do.
They taste sweeter, right?
Yes.
When you put honey on them.
Yes.
I'm giving you that look like, you know, you're going to. I know you're trying to get her to like cook the next snake she defeats, and then
taste it.
And then taste it, and it's not going to be honeyish.
It might be garlicky or rosemary or who knows what.
Right.
Yeah.
A lemon honey rosemary.
Yeah, I think that could be really good. Yeah, I think if we could retire and open up like a street cart food thing.
Oh.
Snakes and other things. Yeah.
I give Fran a sip of the mead that I have.
Oh. Ooh. That's strong. But I'm sure I can sleep well after that. Thanks.
Were you sleeping poorly? You seem to be quite good at it.
I just a few nightmares, but I'm already over them.
Awesome. So the day passes, and it moves into night, and you all get some rest, and the fire dies down, and it's not daytime, but the moon is quite bright, and you think you could proceed now onward if you'd like. You notice that the frog has left, and under where the frog was sitting, it did eat the meat, by the way, when maybe it's now drunk from the mead infusion and has decided to go and do something brave and adventurous in its own little story. But under it is something that one of you recognizes as something that's important to Doc. Who notices it, and what is it that Doc has lost or left behind?
I feel like Fran would maybe find it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
possibly.
Were you good friends with Doc?
I don't think so. I mean, we're not enemies or anything. I just don't know him or him very well. I don't know most of the mice here very well. So
okay. So what would you, still not knowing very much about Doc, recognize? Is that like you'd be like, that was Doc's?
possibly some kind of a bag that he keeps medical supplies in.
Okay. So you find a satchel of medical supplies, and under where the frog was sitting.
Huh.
What do you do?
Look at that. The frog sat on the medical satchel. And I think it looks like the one Doc carried. You think the frog ate him? You don't think the frog ate Doc?
The frog's not large enough to have digested a mouse, but Doc could have taken shelter here for a bit and then left the bag on accident.
Does it look like the bag has what we might expect inside of it, or does it look kind of depleted?
Yeah.
It looks unused and well sat upon.
I'm opening it and trying to find some kind of message. Maybe he left a message for us. It's some kind of note inside the bag. But it looks unused. Or is there some kind of message inside?
That's a good question. Let's see. Yeah. Let's say.
But why would he leave his bag behind? I don't know. Not on purpose. Would he? No.
There's a note. It looks really old. And like it wasn't written in the past couple of days or whatever. But there's a note inside the satchel, and it says, "For Emily, upon my demise."
Oh. Well, look. I think he left some kind of note for his wife. You don't think he's dead, do you?
Do we know? Do either Wynn or Auburn? Do we know Doc and his who Emily might be?
Let me know if you do. Like, if you do know does anybody know Doc really well? Is what I'm trying to say. Was anyone good friends?
I could be.
Okay, that's fine.
Right.
He sometimes mentioned wanting to go back to a particular village, and he always had that look in his eyes like things would be better there than here. So you're guessing that Emily is. Let me bring up the map and give you a name. In Copperwood. He always talked about going back to Copperwood.
Isn't that kind of in the opposite direction?
Yeah, it's to the east.
Yeah, and we're between Elmas and.
You're heading northwest. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Emily is the name of a person?
Of a mouse. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Auburn will put his paw on front shoulder and say, "Looks like we have another mission potentially."
You think he left?
Let's focus. We don't know yet. Let's focus on finding Doc. Can you find his tracks now that the rain has subsided?
You don't have to roll. You do find some tracks, yes.
Do they lead away from where we're actually headed?
No, they continue northward.
Right. I don't think he went to see Emily, actually. I think he went onwards, and this is just in case he dies, which we're hoping won't happen. Hasn't happened.
Right. So why don't you hold on to that and protect it until we can return it to Doc?
Yes. She feels really important. I'll do that. And he'll be sure to get it back.
So
Auburn's going to check in on Wynn, see how he's going.
Okay.
Oh, what? I'm sorry. I was looking at the maps again.
It's okay.
We're going northward, are we not?
Northwest, yeah.
And
Northwest.
So something has happened when that will probably upset you. Once Fran noticed the medical satchel, and you thought to yourself, "Oh, I would never leave anything behind, silly Doc," or something along those lines. You go through your pack and you realize that one of the snakes must have tried to take a bite at you, and a large chunk of your map that you had tucked away while pulling out your spear to to test for depths has been ripped off. And that was your 7 to 9 like a half an hour ago.
So,
well, I hope we didn't cook the map.
Why not? It's ripped off. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we like cook it? That yes.
The texture of snake on paper in honey.
Yum, vintage
Parchment wrapped.
Yeah,
snake in honey.
It's gonna be a thing.
Gourmet cooking.
All right.
So, where is the hole on the map? Is it anywhere near where we're going? She says, hopefully.
Fran, I have an important lesson to teach you.
Yes.
The hole on the map is always where you need to go.
That's good to know.
Because people who damage your maps, that's the only part they ever damage.
That's too bad. But I guess it's an important lesson to learn. Yes.
I have a question for the GM.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if we can create custom moves in this game or not.
What's going on?
Okay. So kind of in response to from the other night with the storm and what Oberon and Wynn were going through with the map and the staff, could Oberon help Wynn to try to remember and recreate the missing portion of the map from his memory?
Yeah, you definitely could. Let's see.
Kind of like almost not hypnotism, but like mentally walking him through, the map every time he's looked at it, and then closing his eyes, and then almost, I know this is hooey in the real world, but redrawing the map from memory on the back of the remaining map or some other material.
The best thing that you have would be the parchment of the note that says, for Emily upon my demise. That's the driest piece of parchment.
Whatever we've got.
Yeah.
Wynn, are you okay with this?
Definitely. We're not opening that parchment to read it because that's a private note.
Right.
Fran, right? Or
right.
It's just that's all that's on the parchment. It's not like a sealed piece of or folded piece of note, right? That's a
the entire note reads, "For Emily upon my demise."
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And we're only going to use a small portion of it to redraw the map.
So I'm gonna sort of I'm gonna take a little of our marching time, and I'm gonna take a wet rock and sort of pound the two bits of parchment together.
So
that the piece of parchment we have is just sort of like laid over the back. So I can, instead of seeing just a hole in the map, I have like a piece of fresh parchment underneath there. Yep. And I'm just going to start putting landmarks that I specifically remember, roughly where I remember them in reference to what's already there. But they're very Wynn landmarks, so it involves like the town with the library. The place with the good inn. And then sort of working backwards from there. So so I think I'm gonna slow us down by getting distracted. And sort of keep trying to get the paper to adhere to each other until the pulp sort of graphs a little bit. And then realize that, we're not going to traverse that much territory while looking for Doc, unless he gets really far ahead of us, which he's doing now.
Okay.
And then I explained to Fran, like, look, the snake also took part of the map that we don't need.
See, it isn't always that bad.
I'm sure we'll need it later.
Oh.
Rise her up and then down.
Fran, we're mice. It's always that bad.
Yes, I know, but we're the specialists, right? I mean,
Right? We're mice. It's always that bad, and we're always going to take care of it.
yes, we're the ones who take care of it,
Right.
and we do it well.
As well as cruel fate we use every tool that cruel fate
So
sends
we
our
should
way.
get on the road.
So yes,
I'm gonna
You're
scatter
right.
the fire and back up. Like, all right, let's get our marching music going
But you
on the
wanted to
trail.
help him focus, right? Like you
I
did you
did.
still want to do that? Okay.
I do. I just don't want him to demoralize us. Do you want me to? Would you like for me to make a helping?
None
roll?
of these things I say, I'm not saying them at all in a low tone of voice.
Right.
I'm saying them with like cheerful fatalism.
Yep.
I want you to roll the help out move, but I want you to use focus instead of courage.
Okay. Let's do that. I think I got. Let me look here. I got a 6.
Okay. Already. So there's one key part of the map that Wynn has forgotten, and it'll be absolutely necessary for you to either rediscover that location or to have him remember that be part of the map. Do you?
Okay.
You can either stick with a 6-, and leave yourselves with that mission in the future, or you can take a condition and bump yourself up to a 7, and it reminds him of the part of the map that's missing. Kind of a meta situation.
Yeah. So I feel like if I chose angry, would that be angry with myself? Could I do that?
You absolutely can.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to go with. It's going to be angry again.
Okay. All right.
Rawr.
So, Fran, you can clear your tire condition, by the way.
all right.
So what is it that you remember that helps Win out with the map? What is it that would have been essential to get back to Barkstone?
I feel like it was probably from when I traveled there years ago. That I remembered this this area, like a fallen log area that you could cross this what we might call a river, and that it would be a quicker way to Barkstone to go that way.
To follow or to ride on the river?
Oh, to follow.
To follow the river. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Noted. And how are we doing do we need any breaks, or are we still good to go? Anybody?
A quick
I'm
bio
fine.
would be great.
All right,
Actually,
let's
if we can do. Okay.
Yeah, let's do a 5-minute bio break. Come back at quarter after.
That's good.
Great.
So are we still having fun? Everything cool?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Anything you'd rather me be doing as an MC that I'm not doing? Questions you want to be asked more or anything like that?
Oh, fine.
Okay. Cool. So, last we left, there was a map being finalized, and there was a missing river that got added in, and Oberon has become a little angry with himself for various reasons, and you're setting back out again. You are able to follow Doc's tracks until you get to a pine tree forest at the edge of the Sea of Grass, and it is covered with pine straw, and you are no longer seeing muddy footprints. At this point, someone will need to get their bearings, and you can do that by rolling with wisdom. Who would like to get their bearings, or would you like to do something else? I'm just telling you what the most
We
obvious.
can definitely try to get our bearings. I think that seems like a smart thing to do right now.
Yep.
With your permission, Captain.
By all means.
That's an 8.
Okay. So, let's see here. You can ask me 2 questions. What should I be on the lookout for? What's happened here recently? What's the best way? How can I get my friends out of this situation? And what's my greatest opportunity here? And if you act on the answers, take +1 forward.
And I asked 2, right?
You get 2. Yep. We're on page 2 if you need to look at it.
Yep. What's the best way to sort of intersect where Doc's headed?
Best way to intersect where Doc is headed.
Because we're sort of like scrambling after him, trying to catch up.
Right.
Um,
Well, actually, let me. Why don't you tell me how you're getting your bearings? I'm going to
Okay.
give you some information, and then you can ask some questions.
I think I
Because-
find some high point, so where you can look over the grass, like a place where a bunch of like rocks are sort of stacked up,
So
or
you're
a
in
tree
the
root.
you're in the pine tree forest. What I forgot to tell you is that the mushrooms that form like little half coins and
Uh-huh.
are kind of like ladders. Those are available. Like those are on some of the trees, so you're easily able to climb trees if you want to.
Okay.
But that would also possibly expose you. So whatever your choice is.
So I think I want to get the high ground, because what I really want to know is like if we spend all our time just scrambling after Doc and he keeps moving, he is moving. He is by nature of being one person going to move faster than we are.
Right.
Also, he's not tracking somebody while trying to move.
Absolutely.
Apparently, we still have no idea what he's up to or what he's doing or where he's going, because he's not going the place that Fran's recent discovery would suggest he's going. Is he?
Right.
He's not going that direction. So, so I want to figure out a way to kind of look at the pine tree forest and see if we can stay on a trajectory leading to where he's going, but sort of like intercept him in some way, or intercept that path further down. So is there a natural formation? Is there a gully? Is there something that he's running along that we know where that goes, or can guess where that goes, and sort of come around and intersect it.
Sure.
That type of thing. So, or if we go up, can we come back down and kind of hit on the path that's not gonna be easy and fast for him? And then I'll wait for the second question until we've had a chance to talk about that one.
Okay. Let me get the details straight in my head before I give you an answer. So you climb up into the trees, and you're looking for the best way to intersect with Doc, and you discover that you have a choice. The river, or the river to mice, as it were, this rivulet that's now a creek due to flooding, is you're at the very end of it, and if you were to follow it and follow it quickly, then you know that you'd be intersecting where Doc would have been looking for the looking for looking out for predators and a path, other than the route that you guys were choosing. Um, while you're up in the tree, though, you uh, you notice that you're being watched by a squirrel, and that squirrel, after it gets bored with you, runs across like the limbs of a whole bunch of trees rather easily, and you see a path now that you could follow. And if everybody were to follow that path and not fall off, you would have ample time to see any signs on the ground, um, and be able to intersect or intercept what you might be looking for. So you got a squirrel path up top, and you got the river path down below. Do you
Yeah, since I'm up here, I think I should ask the second question. Um, yeah, I'm gonna miss the obvious, and let's go for the. Now that I can kind of see where Doc was headed and things he may have left behind, or fires he may have lit and put out, or anything like that, and I have a little bit of perspective. What's happened here recently?
um so you were able to uh see from your vantage point um that there what you spot is along the ground. You uh you spot Doc's weapon. Oberon, what did Doc use as a weapon? It needs to have some metal in it. You're muted.
Okay. I'm just gonna say a sword.
Okay. So you
Just
see,
like a simple long sword.
okay. You see a copper pommeled longsword lying on the ground, and you know that there must have been an attack an ambush, most likely. And as you're looking at that, all three. Well, do you go back to tell everybody, or do you want to ask any more questions before I move forward?
Going to go back down and say Doc's weapons down there, and then point to the branch path that will get us to a better spot to intercept. Also give us more vantage and get us up off the ground where we can try to get ahead of Doc. But we might want to go see that glint of metal up ahead too, quickly.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we maybe retrieve it in case he needs it?
We don't leave mice behind, and we don't leave their things behind.
Yeah, Doc's
Let's
just leaving
just-
stuff everywhere.
Yeah, let's just make sure that this is a trail and not a trap. So,
Right.
be careful, but yes, I agree. Retrieving the artifacts of the possessions from Doc is a good thing.
Also, it might reveal important details. I say very sagely about under the circumstances under which he lost it.
Right.
Yes. There might be clues.
So, are we going to go out and get the sword? Is that what we're saying?
I think that would be our good first step.
Okay. All right.
Can we reach that with the squirrel path, or do we need to go down on the floor?
You
Let's get the ground for right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you wouldn't be too far away from the squirrel path.
Okay.
So you sneak forward and are ever cautious for an attack or an ambush, and eventually make your way to the sword. You see on the ground there is mouse blood.
Hmm? Oh no.
And the sword, obviously, and part of Doc's cloak has been ripped off as well. He's
Can we tell if this was a predator or another mouse that did this to him?
Your sage can, with a little bit of time and inspection.
Yeah, I guess is the blood still kind of wet or fresh? Or
the blood is fresh. You'd probably say about 4 hours. And
you're not thinking another mouse would do this to him. Who would be?
How much?
Oberon wouldn't have said that aloud. he's looking at it,
but
he's
trying
angry. To figure it out.
He's angry.
Yeah, no, he's angry. Yeah,
maybe it's
so maybe he did. Yeah, okay, that's cool. But I think he would kind of growl like, "Win, get down here."
How much blood is there down there?
There's been a big cut.
Okay. It's not like a nosebleed level of blood. It's a life-threatening wound level of blood.
Between the two of those, yep.
Yeah.
Oh no. He's probably injured, but that would make it easier to find him, I guess. He can't get very far like this. Or maybe someone took him.
So I'd like to take another moment and sort of kind of pace a circle around the action and sort of see what else is here. Kind of try to get a sense of how old this is, how old the blood is, get a good smell, see if I smell weasels.
So Okay, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to get my bearings, but I wanted to just get a sense of like what could have caused this very large wound.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
I
like
did-
you I can see the anger in Oberon's eyes. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
We'll finish. Go ahead. So what you
Yeah, I see the anger in Oberon's eyes, and I want to rule out the things that would obviously make Oberon angry. Like
Okay.
It could have been a wild beast. It doesn't have to be invaders. It doesn't have to be another mouse.
So I did a poor job of describing the scene before you asked your questions.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and give you one more question out of your get your bearing roll for free.
Okay.
If that's not enough, then we'll roll again.
Okay.
And you can re-ask a question if you want to re-ask a question.
What's happened here recently? Like very specifically right here.
Okay.
And I think in the physical world, in the camera is seeing me like almost just kind of mark out the turf that I'm specifically looking at.
Sure.
Like I'm kind of tracing a line or pacing a line around what I specifically see as the scene of the crime.
The clue that you find is just a little further away. And like maybe maybe 5 mouse meters away. And you see some blood on a leaf in the shape of the paw of a beast.
Do I recognize the kind of beast? We're not talking weasel.
I'll go ahead and say that it is a fox paw.
Ooh.
But it looks small.
Like fox cub small, or maybe some new sort of animal small, or
probably a kit. Probably a kit.
Yeah, fox kit. Thank you. I think I go back up on my hind legs and just say foxes, just to draw attention to the.
And Fran has been picking up some pine needles just in case, as you say this, and drops them. Foxes? What? Here? And then what do we do?
So Oberon steps forward to try to help stabilize the emotional situation. And he says, kind of coldly, because he's still angry, says, "We do what all the Mouse Guard do. We take care of the situation."
Yes.
And he whispers to Wynn, like, "We need to plot a course to find him. Do you think any of the squirrels or anything like that may have seen the event?"
Do squirrels speak mouse?
So that's a very interesting question, and I would like to know how you know this, but what's recently been discovered by sages and spread around almost like a rumor is that albino animals seem capable of mouse speech. And so an albino squirrel would be able to talk with you. And since I already had this planned, I don't want it to seem like that there was a coincidence. But there is one up above an albino squirrel looking down at you.
Oh.
I feel like there's like this change of perspective. We see the squirrel. I don't think I'm the right mouse to speak with the squirrel right now.
Fran, you're courageous.
Yes, I think so. And she picks up one of the pine needles again to, well, distract herself, I guess, and gain some courage. Squares her shoulders and looks up to the squirrel and says, "Well, hello? Can you understand me?" And
Yes.
and climbs onto the mushroom steps.
Yes. And the squirrel like runs around the tree, like the center of the tree, and runs around and ends up like with its face like right up in front of you.
So,
Yes.
Oh, you can. Then it's true what they say. Or can all squirrels do that?
Just me. Just
Yeah.
me.
Wow. Okay, so that is. I really need to write this down sometime. But I'm gonna become such a researcher. But anyway, have you seen what happened here?
It was bad. You should leave. Go away.
But why? I mean, yes, dangerous animals and all, but we can protect ourselves. We can handle ourselves. We've got. And she pulls out the dagger and the pine needle. And said, "We can handle ourselves."
That one didn't.
Oh.
You're small. You'll get eaten.
Did it?
Fran, could you ask it
Yes?
where it took our friend?
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Squirrel, do you have a name?
Oh, Chase. I am Chase.
Oh, name. Yeah. What actually happened to Doc? That was his name. That is his name. You're not saying he was eaten, was he?
No. Fox baby took back to den.
Oh my. Oh. In what direction did the baby go?
Oh, 3 limb by 2 limb. Down to below.
Oh, I don't know what that means. And I just point to some direction, just a test there, and I point north.
Follow me. I'll show you.
Oh, okay. And I shout down to the others, "We need to follow Chase. Come on, he knows where the kid went."
All right. Let's go.
Okay. So I'm going to have Fran make a do something dangerous roll.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have everybody else help out.
Okay.
You currently have 1 warden pool point, unless Wynn wants to use one of his hold to create another warden pool point for a piece of equipment that would be helpful for this scenario.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I'm going to bring out a bit of string with a small grappling hook on it.
Love it.
I rolled a 5, by the way.
So we need 2 points from the help out roll.
All the help we can get.
So I think I can do the help out thing with a bit of the string.
I got
since I had added.
Yeah, I got a 9 on my roll for helping.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
back down to like 1 pool point.
Yeah. Well, yes, absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Or did you want to roll when?
No, I was gonna spend.
Okay. All right. So you used your equipment and spent the warden pool.
Right.
And Oberon rolled, which didn't need the point. And so the albino squirrel leads you through the squirrel path, and the limbs are bouncy, and it's much quicker than you, and it comes back to you and goes forward, goes back to you and comes forward, but leads you along the way. At one point, you guys can't easily jump from limb to limb, and Wynn throws a grappling hook out and pulls it close, and you guys are all able to cross over, and you all brace down as the limb flips back, and it's very scary, like you almost fall off, but you eventually make it through the trees, and Chase is looking down, and it says, there, do you see? And below you, at the opening to an underground little hole, like a den or a warren, there is a sleeping gray-furred kit fox. In front of it, maybe 10 mouse meters away, which, I don't know, 3 feet away, I don't know, is the body of Doc. You can see that Doc is breathing, but Doc is not moving.
Oh my.
Then the wind shifts, and the kit begins to wake up and start smelling at the air. And Chase is like, dangerous.
Do we still have any leftover snake meat? Honey
Sure.
snake meat?
Yeah, there was plenty of snakes.
Ooh.
Not have eaten all the snakes.
Okay. We don't have any bows or anything like that on us, do we? Ranged weapons.
We are, however, ahead. We are overhead.
Right.
So dropping things maybe.
If one of you wants to have a backup ranged weapon, you could have one.
Okay. I'll have a bow. My idea is, because how long is your string? That wouldn't be enough. Kind of climb down and tie it to Doc and pull him back up with it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm guessing
so
not.
Here's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I mean, I can have more string because I have one more hold.
Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. We have some bait. I'm thinking we can try to lure it out. Can you ask Chase if there are more than one of these foxes in there? Like siblings or parents?
Look, Chase?
Yes.
Is this where's the mother of this fox? And does it have any siblings? Do you know anything about that?
Yes, I do. Yes. Mother is sick. Or sick, dead, sick. Mother is inside, whole. One kid left
Oh,
kid.
that's kind of sad. Well, I guess the baby wanted to feed the mother, I suppose. Only trying to survive. But we still need to save dog. I don't know. Okay, there's only one kid and an
Okay.
adult.
Thank you, Fran. Here's what I'm thinking. As soon as we get down there, if not before then, the fox is gonna be alert and pounce right away. What if we were to Chase? Oh, could we ask Chase to help us get Doc out of there, or do you not think Chase will help us with that?
I'm not sure. I mean, he's been friendly enough.
Well, there's helpful, and then there's putting your neck on the line for another species. So my thought is to shoot some of the meat further into.
Let me rewind. There is a move that you could use to convince the squirrel.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to go that route, it's available to you. I'm not trying to by silence tell you that you're not doing the right thing.
Yeah. So I was thinking I could fire some of the meat further inside to distract the fox to go further in to get the meat. And while that is happening, that we use the help of our friend Chase here to quickly pull Doc out of harm's way into a tree.
My Wi-Fi screwed up for a moment. To quickly do what?
Pull Doc up into the tree, away from the fox's den.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And if that fails, I will stay down there and protect Doc while you get him away.
Okay. So go ahead and roll wisdom.
To convince?
To convince them.
Do we have any leverage?
You don't really, but it's the best we have for a roll right now.
Who has more than 0 wisdom?
I can try to talk to Chase. And we don't know really what we have for leverage, though, right?
I guess we just don't use the leverage.
We're gonna. We're not killing the fox. That's not helpful. Yeah, I don't know.
You can make promises for the future in an episode that's not going to be played today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That on our return trip, we can deal with this fox menace.
Which is something you would do anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Just Doc is a higher priority right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So I swear on the code of Melsker that we will deal with your fox situation after we conclude our mission with Doc here.
Okay. So Oberon, go ahead and roll wisdom.
Oh, okay.
You're doing the convincing, so.
All right. I got a 7.
Okay. So they want something more substantial in return before they'll agree to help. And that okay. So
Oh, I know. I have a suggestion for what we could do that would
Okay,
increase.
I have
the
one
pop.
idea. What's yours?
Go ahead. Mine is to say, and we will use some of our I forget what they call it, concoction to create a scent border within this area to prevent predators from returning.
Oh wow. Okay. I was going to make it a little bit more personal.
Oh,
so
that's fine.
we'll go with either. You can go with either of these. You can do the scent guard, or
Mhm.
Chase. So Chase is thinking about it, and it says that bag you have smells good, and I need it, please. And he's
The
referring to
medical bag.
the satchel.
Oh, no, I'm going to offer him the scent border.
Okay, all right. I wanted to see where.
If Chase will accept it.
All right,
because then you're going to make me fight Fran, who's promised to protect it, and I don't want to do that.
Aww. All right. Oh well. So it takes it's taking some really nervous minutes to even describe what it is that you mean. But you know that this is going to be a tough sell to the scent border people.
Yeah.
But eventually Chase is like, okay, you make border when you come back. Yes. Our village will prosper. I will save your friend.
Thank you, Chase. Can we make other animals honorary wardens or something in this game?
I don't see why you couldn't.
All right, so we're gonna deputize Chase here, in the service of the Mouse Guard or wardens. Thank you, Chase.
Yep. What? Okay. Okay. I go now?
Maybe you get even your own cloak. Would be, yeah.
In a 501k. All right. So Win, we haven't heard much from you recently. So, what are your thoughts on the situation?
So Chase is going to pull his body free, right?
Yes, I will go get the body.
Okay. We don't want to get bogged down in a fight with a fox kit. We do need to distract it long enough.
I will do
that. What?
I can do that.
I think it's going to be all three of us.
I think yes.
Okay.
How much of that honey mead? Because I didn't drink it all. I didn't use it all. Is that flammable?
I think low volume alcohols don't burn as well. But we could. It certainly would not hurt to soak something. It would certainly add a little fuel that would help. I don't think it would burn on its own, but if you soak something in it.
Okay. Just thinking about all of the options here.
Yeah.
We could make the kid drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know
if this is enough.
I don't think we have enough alcohol for that, but yes.
Right.
Yes.
It doesn't actually take that. Well, yeah, that's true. We have mouse-sized bottles.
Yeah. All right, so what's the plan? Let's do the planning montage.
Well, we have the meat.
We have the meat.
Someone needs to climb up above and maybe drop the meat.
Well, I was going to shoot the meat inside. Put some meat on the arrow, shoot it in there.
Right.
further in, so it has to go away from the body.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. While that is happening, Chase here pulls the body free, and how do we get the string attached? I guess someone needs to go there.
Yeah,
I'll go
well,
down.
Chase, go ahead.
Yeah, I can go down and intercept Chase, get the string attached to his body, Doc's body, so that we can once we can haul him up into the tree.
All right, and I will stay on as a sniper, and if things are looking bad, I'm going to just jump down on the fox.
Yeah, I don't know if one mouse jumping on the fox is enough, and I think I may need to help you with that. Maybe we should jump on the fox together.
All right.
And I whisper Fran, I just like the ear, the eye, the ears, the eyes, and the nose.
Right.
There's one thing I need to describe in additional before you guys jump down. The river runs right by the den, and the river is currently split into two. Some of the water is flowing into the hole and is consistently doing so, but it's not flooding outward. So it's a deep hole, probably a lot deeper than a den would be. And then the river continues. This is the river you will need to follow to get to Barkstone.
Okay.
Do we have? Okay. Well, maybe this will work. So this river naturally flows towards Barkstone, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Would we have time to make a makeshift barge for us to put Doc and the rest of us on, and then we use the spear as like our pole, and then we just sail to Barkstone?
Yes, you can construct a barge.
All right.
You're in a pine.
So basically,
pine tree forest. There's plenty of wood and everything.
We're gonna make a getaway craft as soon as we can. We're gonna put Doc and the rest of us on it, and then sail away from the foxes, and hopefully to Barkstone. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good plan,
We could.
but I can't. But it might do 2 for 1 for us.
We might attach a few pine cones together to float.
And just keep them from twisting. Just make sure that they stay stable.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've got. I think we have enough material to make the barge here.
Yeah. Well, we could go for bark.
Yep.
We'll be more comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as prickly.
I'm only thinking of Doc.
Yes, of course.
All right. Like Oberon's like pacing, like he wants to jump into action and take his anger out on this fox.
I'm like, Chase, and so just to clarify, as soon as Chase pulls Doc out of the line of sight of the fox, you want me to string him up and then pull him towards the river?
Yeah, towards the barge that we'll have on the embankment. Yeah, and then we'll hopefully be able to get Doc secured, and then we'll get on there and push off, and then follow the flow of the river.
Nice. Okay.
So we're positioning ourselves in case we need to jump. Where you gonna shoot the meat? I guess we're gonna go where we expect to lure the fox, and then shoot the meat straight down, or something.
Is there a sight line basically to shoot from in the trees down into the den?
The very opening of the den, yes.
Okay. Well, it sounds like
if you went further down the trees, then you'd have a much better sight line.
Okay, then that's what I'll do.
Okay. So you climb down the tree. You've prepared your arrow with meat on it, and you find a place to hold on to kind of wedge your way into like a piece of bark that's kind of broken, but not completely broken off. And so you've got yourself a steady aim, and you release the arrow, and the arrow goes flying into the den. The gray fox is smelling the air, and then it sees the arrow flying in, and it goes in and into the den and is investigating. What happens next?
Now.
Chase now.
So I scramble to the ground so that I'm ready when Chase is ready.
Okay, so Chase runs down the tree in a circle, and gets over to Doc, and he pauses. You can't tell why, but eventually he gently, ever so gently, picks up the shirt or the cloak of Doc and pulls it up with its mouth, and Doc is just kind of hanging there limply. When you can hear him moan, and as the wind shifts again, you can also smell the sepsis that's starting to set in.
Oh God!
And Chase looks at you and runs over to you. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to shoot another arrow with more meat back into the hole.
Okay.
I grab Doc. And, I make sure I'm not doing any further damage by grabbing him, and then I kind of harness him up with a string. Do you want me to sort of do some sort of assessment of him, or I want to make sure I'm not about to pull his arm out of socket or anything like that with the.
You have a healing move, right?
Yeah, that requires recuperation.
Oh, okay. Why don't you get your bearings again?
Okay. So like while the kit's in the hole, I'm trying to get my sense of what's going on with Doc. Making sure I don't do any further damage. That is a 9.
Okay. You get to ask me 2 questions.
How can I best get my friends out of this situation?
Okay. So the water that's flowing into the den is going at a much faster pace than the water that's heading back to Barkstone.
Right.
So if you got onto your barge and went into the den, wherever that may lead, it would get you away quicker than trying to pole your way around the river that's heading to Barkstone.
Okay. And medically, what should I be on the lookout for with Doc?
Doc needs to have some. He needs to get some blood.
Okay.
And but he also needs to have his wound bandaged as soon as possible.
Okay.
For infection. So, in conditions terms, he's both injured and sick.
Right.
And he needs to get to Barkston immediately. He did lose a couple of fingers off of his right paw.
Oh God!
No.
All right. So I start hauling him towards, underarms towards the barge.
Okay. So Chase runs. You guys want Chase to get out of the way at this point, or?
I think we just need him to clear
Yeah,
out.
Chase has done all that we asked.
Yeah. Okay. So Chase is about to scramble up the trees when the kit comes back out.
And I'm pulling Doc away. I mean, Chase got him clear.
And Chase turns and looks at each of you, and looks at the fox, and begins to run, and the kit runs after it.
Oh no! I think I tried
All
to
right.
jump.
I'm like, trees, Chase, trees. As I scramble back forward, if I scramble back to the river.
Oberon is going to prevent Fran from going after Chase.
Oh, I was gonna jump on its nose.
On the fox?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, then I'm going to definitely be there with you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We're trying to jump the fox.
Okay, that's better than jumping the shark, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't I think Fran will strike at an enemy, and Oberon can roll to help out.
Okay.
I'm rolling a 10. That's already enough, actually.
Oh, okay.
All right. There you go.
Great. All right, so choose 2.
Am I going to inflict? I don't know if I want to inflict terrible harm on that baby. I think I choose the condition I have to suffer, and I expose or create a weakness.
Okay.
I jump on the
do you get that bonus from your mentor telling you what there is to hit?
I'm about to ask if the...
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go for the ears, the eyes, or the nose, you'll get better than a 10, which... So you expose or create a weakness. Okay. Where do you strike? Where do you land? Where does Fran land?
I want to land on the nose.
Okay, so you hit the nose. What do you do?
I still got the pine needle. I'm trying to poke on the soft part. I'm guessing that foxes have the same soft part that dogs do, the snout. And poking with the pine needle. And I know dogs don't like their noses hit, So I'm hoping it will distract it.
Okay. So
we're trying to holding on.
Yeah. Okay.
For your life.
So I think that's where Oberon's helping out will save you, because the fox like skitters to a stop and then just starts sneezing, and
I can see like one of our legs or arms is wrapped around a whisker or something like that.
Right.
And I've got my shield up in the arm, and I'm getting ready to whip it into its eye.
Oh really? Is that okay, as a player, Tina? Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay.
We don't have to show it. We don't have to show it, but that's like if we saw this as a graphic panel, like that is like the intent. You can see that.
Okay. So the weakness is that the fox is not defending itself at all right now. That's what you've created, Fran.
Good job.
Which means that I'm not making you roll for your attack, Oberon.
Oh, wow.
So I assume that your intent is to partially blind.
Right, to take out its other senses. She's kind of distracted in the nose, which is the strongest sense. I'm going after the eye so it can't see what we're doing.
Okay. Okay. Wynn, what are you doing right now?
I am hauling Doc towards the river and getting him on the barge.
Okay. You've secured him. And you see your protege is whipping about on the nose of a fox. And then you hear this noise that I won't describe as something gets pierced, and just yipping, just howling and yipping. And the fox finally shakes both of you off of its head, and you land on the ground, and it runs off. It just runs in a random direction. It may return soon, but for now it's gone.
Yeah, so we do the superhero role.
Right.
Yeah.
I get in position with the butt of my spear to be ready to push off.
And I feel like Oberon, if he's able, gets up, try to make sure Fran is okay, and then rushes us over to the barge to see Wynn.
Okay, so you're at the barge.
Right.
Now that you are all close enough to the den, everybody but Fran recognizes from the war that this is a dark heather tunnel.
Oh.
What is a dark heather tunnel?
Weasel.
Oh.
So you are at the entrance, the grand entrance to a hidden weasel in fort, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Do we have a quick way to leave a sign for if we don't come back, another guard would notice something?
We like to prevent them from coming in, or to encourage them to come.
Like on a tree, like mark like foxes, weasel den, foxes now here.
Yeah, totally.
Just in shorthand.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
And then get on the barge.
Okay. So you have a choice with the barge. Do you go into the dark heather tunnels, or do you take the slower route to Barkstone?
As I'm about to push off, I think my instincts are telling me that the right thing to do is push through the tunnels. And I kind of want to kind of listen to my gut right now.
Okay.
And think about all the stuff I knew about the war and about the weasel tunnels. May I roll trust your instincts?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
It is an 8.
Okay. Okay. You all head into the weasel tunnels.
Since I was trusting my instincts, I was assuming that I'm trying to figure out what my instincts are telling me, sort of thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I thought you said that your instincts were to go into the tunnels.
Yeah. I'm trying to like kind of listen to my gut and really kind of figure out what it's. If it's the right thing to do.
So a potential encampment this close to Barkstone is just so important to like determine the nature of that you can't skip this, is what your instincts are telling you.
Okay.
Which is basically the MC saying it's cooler to go this way, but
okay,
you don't have to. You honestly don't have to.
So I think that's what I start to do is I start to just push us into the path of the tunnels.
Okay. So as you head into the tunnels, you see a dead female fox, and she is still wrapped around by the snake that bit and killed her. As a matter of fact, the snake neck is in the mom's mouth, but there are signs of things like maggots and stuff like that the mom has been dead for a while. You also see piles of vomit that you figure are from the kit eating like dead flesh or trying to get sustenance. But the four of you plunge into the darkness like a roller coaster, and things flash by you like carvings in the wall of weasels and mice and things like that. And the path is just incredibly fast as it heads deeper and deeper under the main towards the main tree that Barkstone lies at. And as you uh, as you come to the bottom, you realize from the foul smell and one of you has lit a torch, the greenish color to the water here, that the fox and snake's fluids have flowed down into the water supply down here. And you're at a lake, and an ancient ladder that mice don't even know about anymore leads you up to Barkstone. Barkstone, as Oberon knows, only has one well, and you think you've discovered where the plague has come from. So, you are greeted with surprise and happiness by the mice of Barkstone, and your Bastion commander eventually comes to see you as after you've taken care of getting Doc some help, and he gathers you in a room at the inn, and he says, "So, tell me what happened."
So Oberon, who normally gives the reports, looks at Wynn and then glances at Fran, like, I think it's time for her to start speaking as a mouse guard. Like asking permission from Wynn for her to give the report.
Of course.
Oh.
Well,
I think I just sit in my seat and look at Fran.
she's really nervous and then just we found Doc, and he was threatened by a fox, a really large fox, and we defeated that fox, and I'm afraid we promised a talking squirrel to protect it from other foxes, and maybe even give away some of the scent border potion. And also there's a dead fox and possibly a dead snake in the tunnel that is leaking into your well. Exhausted and
Well done. The den of which the Tenderpaw speaks leads below where the heather tunnels were. We have marked it for a patrol, and we do wish to honor the agreement with the squirrel named Chase, an albino squirrel, and I would be happy to go back with the patrol to make those arrangements. But I'd also like to point out early on in our mission that Fran here demonstrated courage and skill as we were attacked by some, whatever the name for baby snakes are, drakes or whatever. And I believe I have a recommendation for her when we are through with this report. And also, Sage Wynn performed admirably, conducted in the face of adversity, both in weather and in predation, and his wisdom continues to grow and has continued to be a strong asset for the guard.
And continues to be remarkably handsome.
And the Bastion
That goes for all of us.
but when you say that the Bastion commander gives you a second look when, and you're like, I think maybe he's attracted to me.
He only wants me for my mind.
Well spoken and well done. You're back here alive, and based off of what you've told me, I don't know many mice that could do that. I will send immediate word to Gwendolyn, and we will get reinforcements. Sage Wynn, please speak with the mayor about anything that they can do in this town based off of your discoveries. They will need your guidance.
Of course.
I will have many mice here in a couple of weeks, and Oberon, you're welcome to lead whomever you choose on the mission that you find most pressing. The fox,
Thank you.
border, or the tunnels.
Permission to speak, sir?
Go ahead.
I did want to note that Captain Oberon has, as always, done an exceptional job leading. But because you know how captains are, sir, there should be some mandatory rest and recreation. Speaking solely as a sage for the guard, in my professional opinion.
At first, Oberon looks angrier, but then he just relents and goes back to smiling and shakes his head.
Captains are prone to taking stress onto themselves and blaming themselves for things that go wrong. And I think that if you don't make it mandatory, it won't happen, sir.
Wynn, do you still have that item I gave you that you're supposed to keep in your pack at all times?
Do you mean the mead, sir?
No, I'm not talking about the mead that somehow made its way into your pack. I'm talking about the cloak.
It was vital to our mission.
The cloak, sir? Of course, I still have the cloak, sir.
Then we have a party to have.
Really?
Can you please ensconce your protege with her cloak?
Oh.
What?
Well, of course. I mean, it would be such an honor.
Then please, no time like the present.
I think this calls for mead.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's going to call
And
for more mead than we currently have.
I will take care of supplies like I always do, but for the moment, I believe this young Tinderpaw has been waiting far too long for the recognition she deserves so richly.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
unfold
sir.
cloak from my
And
pack.
then the nice, yeah, Oberon stands up proudly and does the mouse salute.
And I don't know if it's appropriate to salute back, I guess.
Only
I just,
salute for a limited period of time, Tinderpaw, because it makes it very hard to pin your cloak on otherwise.
thanks.
And I do believe this comes with a promotion to the rank of specialist, does it not?
Under your guidance, she has become a specialist.
Wow, excellent. That's what I
Well-
always wanted to be.
And hold on for just a moment. Fran, specialist Fran, repeat after me. We as guard offer all that we are
We as guard offer all that we are
to protect the sanctity of our species,
to protect the sanctity of our species,
the freedom of our kin,
and the freedom of our kin,
and the honor of our ancestors.
and the honor of our ancestors.
With knowledge, sword, and shield,
Knowledge, sword, and shield,
we do these deeds,
we do these deeds,
never putting a lone mouse above the needs of all,
never putting a lone mouse above the needs of all,
or the desire of self above another.
or the desire of self above another.
We strive for no less than to serve the greatest good.
We strive for no less than to serve the greatest good.
Welcome to the Guard.
Thank you. I feel very honored to be part of the guard. And
Three
everyone-
cheers.
all
Three
of
cheers
you.
for Specialist Ron.
Hip, hip,
Hooray!
Hooray!
hip, hip,
Hooray!
Hooray!
hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hooray!
What color is my cloak? Is it red or is it purple? It would go well with my fur, both of it.
Sage Win, what did you arrange with the Bastion Commander so long ago?
So I don't know the cloak colors. So
You put up whatever meaning you want to in a color that you
Yeah.
oh, okay. Let me look real quickly. I think I arranged for a scarlet cloak
Oh, excellent.
specifically to stand out sharply against your fur.
Very handsome.
Okay, guys, that's Woodlands Mouse Guard.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
It
thanks.
was a lot of fun.
I'm going to stop the broadcast, and then we can do some decompress and